So we already made a video of this guy. This is going to be version 1 of my Kitbash for Airborne. This is going to be version 2. Okay, so this is going to be just quick comparison between these two guys, and let's take a look at the changes on the backside of the figure. So actually very different gear sets. Okay, so let's get on with discussing version 2 of Airborne. Let us do a quick 360 view of the figure. Okay, so let's discuss body parts first. Action figure body parts. What are the changes on the basic figure? It's just going to be the handsets that I used with this version 2. Those are going to be Action Force Valaverse handsets. The rest are G.I. Joe Classified Series Airborne. Okay, so let's talk about accessories. So, helmet comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Duke. Goggles comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series General Hawk. Okay, so we have some changes on the vest, which I'm going to point out later, but those pouches comes from Action Force Valaverse. Weapon comes from Action Force Valaverse. The battle belt, actually 95%, not 95%, but 75% of it comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series Python Patrol Cobra Officer. The target Cobra Officer. Okay, so why that percentage? Because actually this part of the belt, from this section up to this section, that is already missing. The belt is just this front section up to the holster, so I had to glue all of these pouches or glue them together to form a battle belt. So that is Action Force Valaverse, this pouch. So with this pouch, that AR-15 Magadi comes from, I don't know which figure. I know that these two pouches, 1 and 2, comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series Stalker. So with this smoke grenade. As for the backpack, that comes from Apex Legends, the female medic. So that's it. It's going to, this figure actually is a hodgepodge of different parts and accessories, unlike your version 1 of Airborne. This guy, majority of the parts on this action figure build is Airborne. Okay, so let's take a look at the configuration of version 2 Airborne. The vest. So of course I already tackled the helmet. So this is G.I. Joe Classified Series Airborne helmet, just modified. So this is a different helmet. And take a look at the vest section. Let's get to the vest section once again. Okay, so molded in knife. So that is the knife of Airborne, just a different knife set. So I cut off the grenade which was on this section and transferred it to this section for this version 1. Now we just placed a pouch. This comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series Duke. So just to cover up for the missing piece on this section. And since we X-Acto knifed the blue pouch and placed it on this section, so those are Action Force Valaverse magazine pouches for the rifle. So just different configuration for the vest and the helmet. Okay, so this would still have 4 magazines, so this is also a 4 magazine configuration. So individual pouches for the magazine, this holds 2 per caddy. Removable knife, molded in knife. Grenades, and we have a pouch for a magazine for the pistol. So that's the MO or mission order or philosophy of use for the vest. Okay, so let's take a look at the configuration of the battle belt. So on the strong right side, of course I'm right-handed, so primary weapon is going to be right side, secondary weapon right side too. Okay, so you have the secondary weapon, pistol, so just pick whatever pistol that would fit on that section. So this pouch is going to be the med kit, so med kit with a separate pouch for the tourniquet. So this section is going to be ammunition for your primary weapon and ammunition pouch for your secondary weapon, which is our pistol. So pistol pouch, rifle mag pouch. So this section holds to the smoke grenades and the hand grenades. And as for the front, so let's move up. So we have our combat or utility knife. We have magazine pouches for primary weapon and pistol magazine pouch for the secondary weapon. Okay, so let's take a look at the version 2 airborne weapon. So instead of an AR-15, so of course, let's give him a different weapon this time. So G36 HNK. So the first version had this guy. Okay, so an AR-15, just configured differently. Okay, so with this we have a coupler for the magazines. So just very easy, simple build. Just glue 2 magazines together and sandwich a piece of plastic in between. So there you go, a coupler for your G36. So front part changes. So we included a flashlight. And on the top rail, we have a sighting system. So also added elastic cordage, so nothing very fancy. So just made a nut, and we also made a nut on this section, top nut, cut off, and dab the little glue on the nut so it won't disengage or untangle. Okay, so nothing very fancy. So these 2 accessories, where did I X-Acto knife this off? G.I. Joe Classified Series Outback. So those are the scopes for Outback. So the other one I converted to a flashlight. So I attached it to the M-LOK section of the G36. And on the top rail, the Picatinny, so we have the EOTech sight. So very simple configuration for version 2 airborne primary weapon. And the secondary magazine for the rifle, I also placed this for a purpose, which I'm going to show now. Okay, so purpose. So take a look at this section on the vest of Airborne. Actually, that is a cavity wherein I could secure that coupler or the second magazine, and by friction just have it or jimmy it in between. So for rappelling purpose, or a parachute, a halo, or a hey-ho jump, so just secure the rifle sling to the underside of the backpack, and the second magazine is going to hold on that section that way. So for rappelling or halo or hey-ho jump, so that's the use for that secondary magazine or coupler. So utilizing a McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse transparent flight stand, so we have G.I. Joe Classified Series Airborne on free fall. So just explaining how I configured the rifle with the sling for that specific purpose, or no, I have to grammatically correct myself, for this specific purpose. So the coupler is going to rest in between that space on the vest, and the sling is going to be attached to the backpack. So of course this guy has to change to a different, instead of that battle belt, he has to use a harness system like this. Okay, so but that is just explaining my modifications also for rappelling purpose, rappelling down a dragonfly, so this guy could do it. So just have that configuration. So for rappelling purpose, yep, it's going to look good, especially on this pose or free fall pose for, of course, a halo or a hey-ho jump. So this is the end of this version 2 Kitbash video. So let's see whether we're going to come up with another Kitbash recipe in the future. So see you next time.